But the right of expression, the right of assembly, the right of self-determination, the right even to defend yourself can never be taken from any humanity. As at the time when the treasonable charges was raised against Nnamdi Kanu, we were not having this type of law being put in place now, or they are trying to put it in place. I'm sure they are going to shut it down at the end of the day. But Nnamdi Kanu did not commit, or the law is not an existent law when treasonable charges was made against Nnamdi Kanu. So therefore, it cannot be used against Nnamdi Kanu. That is one. Two, Nigerians are going to stop that, because what they are trying to do is create a kind of understanding that they want to finally, run Nigeria as a country that is going to be run on tyranny. That's what they mean. That means you do not have right to stand up, you do not have right to protest, you do not have right to say anything against the government, and which is absolutely wrong. The universal law supersedes the national law. There's no how this thing will hold. But what I'm trying to do is that I think the South does not understand the North. And by the time the South will understand the North, it will be a mystery to them. Because if you see the Southern senators or the Southern House of Rep members, the way they do things, it looks as if they are totally out of the world. They are totally out of touch with reality. Normally, the Southern representatives are supposed to be the one who are supposed to be guiding these Northerners on something that has to do with humanity and civility. This is a nation. This is a country. This is not a banana island. We have right to, of assembly. We have right to that. That's what they call it, democracy. So you see, because of the wickedness of these politicians, they are looking for a way. See, the game is that they are targeting the crude oil resources, and the North knows fully well that they cannot run their own region. They cannot be politically inclined without laying their hand on the crude oil, on the resources of the South. And the South are too has expressed act of cowardice in everything that has to do with the struggle to balance Nigeria. Until they do that, we cannot to have this kind of confusion. How can somebody wake up one day and say that anybody that is asking, even Nigeria seek independence from Britain, were their hands? The Americans seek independence from Britain, were their hands? So it tells you that this kind of thing they are trying to breed is going to die on arrival. It's already dead. Nigerians, I can tell you the level of confusion there now. And that begins to create a kind of suspicion about the intention of this Tinubu's government and the fear of having Muslim tickets at the end of the day. They are advancing a fanatical ideology on the existence, the corporate existence of Nigeria. You do not have to smuggle such a bill in the first place, where you know that we have over 250 or thereabout ethnic nationalities in Nigeria, and you want to silence them, and you say it's a country. No, it cannot work. Let them continue to throw up charges. Let them continue to manipulate or even invent any kind of bill they want. But the right of expression, the right of assembly, the right of self-determination, the right even to defend yourself can never be taken from any humanity. And that is why it is always been enshrined. They are just trying to create this thing because they have seen it that that they mess up, and the only thing they can do is to make sure that they do not fade away from the resources of the Niger Delta, because on the process of fading away they become completely unassailable. The North will become unassailable because they don't virtually are a burden to the southern Nigeria in all ramifications. They don't go to school, they don't handle anything, nothing, they don't produce anything, they don't engage in social life. All they are interested is politics, and crude oil. And the Mumu South is always following them up and down. Saying they are not is politically inclined. Who told you that? It is only the Arab Yoruba that will have that understand inside their brain.
But they have the population.
Not. Which population? What kind of population? Go and listen to what Nnamdi Kanu said about Nigerian population and why the British government manipulated it in 1953. It is there in the record. The reason why British manipulated the northern population against the south is purely political. If you dig deep inside it, you will know that in the real, what they have is a space, maybe a landmass. I've never seen anywhere in the world where forest has a lesser population than the desert. People that live for desert, who live in the desert? Nobody live in the desert. People prefer to live in a delta atmosphere where there is a swamp, where there is water, where there is life. So the damage they actually did, the damage the British government did was what they capitalized on and started advancing the propaganda that the north is more populated than the south. Then even at that, what is the impact of the northern population to the growth of Nigeria? What is the population contributing to the growth of Nigeria? That's the question we continue to ask. So having understand this thing, you understand that they cannot be able to stand on their own without siphoning the strength and the functionality of the South. That's why the Mumu Southern senators, the Mumu Southern rep members are following them like blindly. These are the things you don't just stand up and mention in civility, where intellectual brains, cerebral-minded are gathered, are representatives of the people. That is why they say it is democracy. What you are seeing in the Senate, what you are seeing in the lower house is democracy. They represent people. Is that what the people ask you to go and do there? To enact a bill that allows people not to say anything, allow people not to form opinion, allow people not to form ideology.
They're in bondage.
Purely bondage. That's what they send you here. Democracy is not about bondage. One of the kindergarten, elementary functionality of democracy is the ability, of expression. It's the ability to say anything, as long as you are not bearing arms against anybody. You have every right to that. But what we're saying today is that this bill they are trying to cook, or they are breeding, or they are finally nursing, will not see the light of the day. Go and mark my word. I'm not here telling you, something that is not real.
But as far as the first reading, they're about going for the second.
A lot of them has passed the first reading and second reading, But let me tell you that the Tinubu-led administration is just killing, destroying the fabrics that would have given Nigeria life at the end of the day. So, as all of them are heading towards the death of the entity called Nigeria, let them continue to move in that direction. But what I'm telling you is that all these bills that are passing at the end of the day, United Nations, Security Council, America, and all the world powers decided that this country is going to be. Would that bill now stop them? Now I'm asking, let it pass 100 reading. Is it going to stop them? Of course, it's not going to stop them. The world powers, the leaders who understand, men of civility and reasoning, will come in and put absolutely rubbish. Who is going to stop America? who's going to stop the United Nations when they have decided that, okay, today we have agreed to announce self-determination, sovereignty for this set of people? You want to tell me all this rubbish they are doing is going to stand the when people who understand what democracy is all about decide where they want to be, instead of them giving referendum to that, instead of them giving review, constitutional review to issues destroying Nigeria. They are there bringing draconian laws against their citizens. But the fact still remains is that no matter at a point it will get to the Senate, at the point where it will get to the presidency, where the president himself will assent his law, it is not going to hold on Nnamdi Kanu. They cannot use that law to try somebody like Nnamdi Kanu, because the charges Nnamdi Kanu is facing at this point in time was not committed. With the law they are trying to bring up at the end of the day with the draft that's already going on. So they are going to charge Nnamdi Kanu based on what is on ground as a law before Nnamdi Kanu was eventually kidnapped and smuggled back to the country. So that is the state of where voting stands for now. But unfortunately, we do not have people who are sophisticated enough, like the likes of Chuba Kadibodem. I wish we have such men in the lower house, have such men in the assembly. You dare not bring such funny and archaic, it has nothing to do with civility, where men who are talking about going to the moon, talking about advancing to the space with this kind of useless law, telling me that it's a must. I must be a Nigerian. That can never happen. It must not happen.
But I saw in an article yesterday where somebody commented that why is it that Ejima Accord, that's the council is not suing the likes of Buhari or the president of Kenya, Ruto, to ICC? Why is it not suing them? For because Nnamdi Kanu didn't actually do anything wrong as regards agitating for Biafra. Does he not have the right to sue Buhari and Ruto for what they did to Nnamdi Kanu?
Well, of course, there are provisions for that if there is anything you feel that you can do in terms of challenging some irregularities, or some threats, or some level of gang up against your ideology. You can go to court to challenge it, but definitely not Nigerian court, because Nigerian court judiciary is associated with criminality. That's why we have Hague, we have international court, we have other platforms around the world where you can go and make certain issues public, and people of sound mind will definitely look at it. A Biafran thing is not something that should have required to begin to look at it from singling out people for judicial processes. What should be our focus is to get the international community attention, get the institutions and the agencies associated, then increase our lobbying around the world, increase our negotiation, increase our bilateral, begin to sign businesses deals, for the restoration of Biafra. In negotiation, we will negotiate Biafra. Definitely, we will negotiate Biafra with So if it requires legal backing to do that, definitely the likes of Simon Ekpa and the rest of them who are already budgeted billions of dollars, to lobby the world leaders to get Biafra restored as a nation, because this is a country that have actually existed before it went into a constitutional agreement, ceasefire with with Nigeria. Up to date, and the British government are still wondering, some of them who are cerebral in mind are still wondering that how come that up to this moment, that Nigeria have not actually, balkanized. Nigeria needed to balkanize. Nigeria needed to go their separate ways. Everybody needed to, because you see, there's nothing that has ever united us. National resources could not, natural resources could not unite us. Socialism could not unite us. Democracy cannot unite us. Political agenda cannot unite us. Welfareism cannot. So what else do you think that will unite us? If at this point we are still struggling over a certain political agenda, if at this time Nigerians are not seeing themselves, as nationalists in the advancement of their own country, it is something that is worrisome. It is something that signals that the entity in Nigeria has a lot of demonic bad nature in it, and the only thing they needed to do to save Nigeria, nobody is doing it. All they after look at the president Jonathan Buhari, Abdulsalami. These are the last lot of dead Nigeria. These are people slots, last dead slots. They call themselves president, our former president, coming out to tell Nigerians that
so record them failures.
Everywhere is okay. Nobody should threaten anybody. That Nigeria is working. Can you see the perspective? Because unfortunately, the same Tinubu we are that accused Jonathan, of incompetence, is the same man they invited in Aso Rock and came out and decided to go against the masses. That tells you that Nigeria can never work and Nigeria can never be one.
Nnamdi Kanu.
Biafrans are not tired of sit at home, because sit at home is every Monday, not throughout the whole year. But what we have at the hand now is lockdown, 1 month lockdown of government properties, not of individual, not of private sector. We have lockdown for Peter and Pat to stay inside his house, not to come out. That's lockdown we have in Biafra land. That's lockdown someone is talking in Biafra land. The lockdown in Biafra land is to put Peter Mba into fear. For him to know that Biafrans don't want his rule in Biafra land again. Is Nigerian government elected governor or rigged governor into office? Let him go to Abuja and stay there. Biafrans are tired of Peter Mba giving their land out to Nigerian army to Fulani herdsmen. They are tired of that. That's why all of them agree with whatever someone is saying. Since he have entered that state, Enugu State House, what have you done to protect Enugu indigenes? From the hand of Nigerian army, from the hand of herdsmen, from the hands of kidnappers, from the hand of bandits, from the hand of Boko Haram. What have you done to protect Enugu indigenes? He's talking. Biafrans are tired. Biafrans are not tired of someone, but they are tired of him. They are tired of his bad governance. They are tired of him betraying them, selling them out. If you put Mba, know that Biafrans are tired of someone, let him come and give his own order to cauterize someone, and let us know whom to obey. Is he able to stop Monday sit at home? Are Biafrans not obey Monday sit at home?
Maybe he's talking as the governor of Enugu. Maybe he's talking as the #1 man in Enugu State. And he's also talking as a leader, in the south.
A leader, whom is he leading?
He has people that he has people under him.
Anyway, he's leading Nigerians, not to Biafrans. Biafrans they're not leading Biafrans. Biafrans know their leader. Biafrans know their leader. Are you okay? Biafra know their leader. Not somebody opposed on them.
But do you not think Nigeria will lose a whole sum of amount of
You
money?
lose.
Do you not think Nigeria will lose money within that 1 month?
That's
Will lose billion?
that's a purpose of it.
Or do you think Nigeria will accept? Do you think the federal government? Do you not think this will be because now he's saying private individuals should go to their place of work, and also the business people? But do you not think it's a clash, between the Biafra Defense Force and the Nigerian Army? Do you not think innocent life might be lost due to that, due to
Now,
clash between the two forces?
The innocent life we lost. If those people that near government establishment saw what is happening and they refuse to go away, the individuals that saw the heat of what is going to happen and go away, there will be no problem in when they go back to their houses or desert that area and left Biafran Defense Force and Nigerian attacking force. Left them alone. Now this is force versus force. You understand? But when you see the heat going on, you want to stay to see with your eyewitness, to be eyewitness, to see the one you will take to gossip. Then whatever that happened to you is on your own. You understand? Although I know that some bad elements, bad egg, may come up to use this opportunity to cause mayhem, but God will frustrate them.